Okay, so milk, onions, some heavy cream, our boneless turkey breast, some celery, potatoes, stuffing mix, chicken broth, parsley, and underneath it here we got some rosemary, mushrooms, garlic, green bean, our French's crispy fried onions, you can see the front there, pork sausage, butter, and some roasted garlic that I already made. We're doing Thanksgiving meal prep. So the potatoes are getting peeled and chopped and thrown into a stock pot. Just like that. Now we just need to cover it with water and we'll be good to go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just let it boil and then cook it for, I think, about 10 minutes until it gets soft. Then we're going to go ahead and chop up these onions. 2 of them are going to go in one pile and one of them is going to go in the other one. Just like this, 2 in one and 1 in the other. And now we're going to go ahead and chop up a few stalks of this here celery. Okay, so we chopped up about 3 stalks of celery. Now we're going to go ahead and chop the ends off of all the green beans, which is going to take a minute, so I'm going to get started on that. Alright, here we go. We've got our green beans all chopped. Next, we're going to go ahead and work on chopping up our parsley and our rosemary. Okay, our potatoes have been boiling for about 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and drain them off into a colander, and then we're actually going to refill this stock pot because we're going to use it again. Okay, we've refilled the stock pot. We're going to go ahead and wait for it to boil, and once it boils, we're actually going to take our green beans here and toss them in there for about 3 minutes. So this is what our rosemary and parsley look like when they're all chopped up. Okay, water's boiling. We're going to toss the green beans in there for 3 minutes. Okay, our beans are done. They're nice and bright green, and we strained them out into a colander. Now it's time to get out our frying pan. So put this over medium heat, and we're going to go ahead and melt 4 tablespoons of butter. The butter's melted, so now we're going to throw in the onions. Let me just grab them over here. Onion! Also, it's the larger pile. It's the 2 onions. And we're going to go ahead and let this cook for about 7 minutes until they start to get nice and soft. Okay, it's been 7 minutes. The onions are nice and soft, so now we're going to go ahead and toss in our mushrooms. And we're going to let that cook for about another 7 minutes until those get nice and brown. Okay, it's been another 7 minutes, so now it's time to add the garlic. It's 4 cloves if you're using regular garlic, or if you're like me using the jarred garlic, it's 4 teaspoons. And we're going to let that cook for about 1 minute until it gets nice and fragrant. Okay, it's been a minute. We're going to go ahead and actually take all of this and put it in the same bowl that our green beans are sitting in right now. Go ahead and melt 8 more tablespoons of butter. Then we're going to go ahead and add in half a cup of all-purpose flour. And you're going to want to mix that around so it doesn't burn. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes. It's now nice and golden and toasty. So what we're going to do is add in 6 cups of milk slowly. Okay, so we got all 6 cups of milk in here. Now what you're going to want to do is turn the heat down a little bit and let this simmer for about 4 minutes until it gets nice and thick. If it's not getting thick, add a little bit more flour. Alright, so now it's simmering, so just let it do this and stir it occasionally so it doesn't burn, and just wait for it to get nice and thick. Alright, it's been simmering for about 4 minutes and I've been stirring it, so it's reached a nice thick gravy-like consistency. I'll show you here. This is what we're looking for. Once it gets to be thick like this, we'll go ahead and pour it into the same bowl that we have all of our green beans and stuff in. Alright, there we go, and that's pretty much the mixture for our green bean casserole. Next would be to put it in a baking dish. Alright, here we go. It's sitting in a baking dish, so in just a little bit, we'll get ready to put it in the oven. Alright, we got our fresh, clean frying pan here. We're going to go ahead and melt 4 tablespoons of butter in it. Okay, so we got our melted butter. We're going to go ahead and throw in our celery. And also the rest of our onions. And we've also got a little bit of fennel seed we're going to toss in there. You don't want to put too much. That's probably enough. Alright, our onion and celery mix has been cooking for about 5 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and add in the pork sausage. We're going to go ahead and break that up and let it cook until it's nice and brown, so about 10 minutes. All right, it's been cooking for about 10 minutes, so the sausage is nice and brown. So we're going to go ahead and throw in our parsley. There we go. And also our rosemary. And we're going to stir that around and let it cook for about a minute. All right, it's cooked for about a minute, so I went ahead and turned it, or took it off the heat. I'm going to go ahead and put this into a bowl. All right, we got our sausage mix in a bowl, so now we're going to add 2.5 cups of stuffing mix. We're also going to add a cup of chicken stock. And we'll also add 1 large egg. And then we're going to go ahead and mix all this up and make sure it's nice and mixed. Now it's finally time to get the turkey breast out of the bag, so let's go ahead and remove that. Alright, so I've got our turkey breast here. So what we're actually going to do with this is we're going to butterfly it. And if you don't know what that means, basically it means that you're going to cut long ways like this, almost all the way until you reach the back. You're going to leave about a 1/4 inch to an inch left, and then you'll be able to just like spread it open. And this is what I mean like that. We've basically opened it up like it's a still connected sandwich bun, or like a hot dog bun almost. But yeah, so now take a rolling pin or a hammer or whatever you have and smash it up a bunch and flatten it out some. Alright, so I've done my smashing and flattening, and I hope I didn't wake up my sister because it's like 3 in the morning right now. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and put our stuffing mix and just kind of spread it out on here. And there we go. So now comes the hard part. We're going to roll this up and then bind it with twine. And here you go, it's all rolled and bound. And I should clarify, use cooking twine, because if you use regular twine, it will burn. Anyway, now we're going to get ready to rub it with butter. Alright, so I've used about 4 tablespoons of butter here, and I have covered the surface as much as I can. Just get in there. Alright, and then we've gone ahead and put this on our roasting pan, and we're going to go ahead, make sure your oven's at 425 degrees, and we're going to cook this for 30 minutes. Okay, we've got a little saucepan, and we're going to melt 1.5 sticks of butter in here. Okay, the butter is melted. We're going to go ahead and add it to our potatoes. Butter away! Well, that was anticlimactic. Okay, so we've mixed that up, and now we're going to go ahead and take our roasted garlic and put it in there. Alright, our garlic has been mixed in. We are also going to add in 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And see if I can do this carefully. And there we go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mix that up as well. Alright, and after a good mix for a couple of minutes, our potatoes are now complete. Okay, so our timer for our turkey went off. So it's, in there. So actually what we're going to do now is we are going to reduce the heat down to 350 degrees. There we go. And then we're actually also going to throw in our green bean casserole here for about 30 minutes. Okay, our timer has gone off for our casserole, so let's go ahead and pull it out. Yeah, that's looking nice and good right there. We're going to go ahead and put the crispy fried onions on top, and then we'll let it cook for about another 5 minutes. Alright, we've got our onions on top, so we're going to put it back in the oven for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes later, they are all nice and toasty golden brown. Delicious. Okay, so I've added the rest of the bag of stuffing mix into the rest of what was left of what I couldn't fit on the turkey earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and add in like a cup or so of chicken stock in here. And then we're going to put it in the roasting pan around the turkey. Okay, and this is what I mean. I just kind of put it in here all around the turkey breast. I don't actually know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but in about 30 minutes, we'll find out. And 30 minutes later, this looks like it was definitely a good idea. Our turkey breast and our stuffing is done, so we're going to go ahead and pull this out and let it cool down a little bit, and we can start getting ready for putting it away in our containers. Here's a little bonus. My turkey breast came with this little thing of gravy. It asks for drippings. I don't know what that is, and I don't have any. So I'm actually just going to put it in here with some chicken broth until it's nice and thick. All right, the gravy is done. So we're going to get ready to put our stuff away in containers. Okay, as you can see here, we've got our containers. We got our mashed potatoes. We have our gravy. We have our stuffing, and we have our turkey. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, yeah, and the green bean casserole. Don't forget about that. I'm just going to put a little bit of everything here in one of these. All right, here we go. It's looking real good. We got 5 relatively even portions of Thanksgiving meal prep. Now, that's all I got for you. Now, please, get out of my kitchen.